conservative things, eliminating taxes, protecting the Second Amendment, reforming our education system, blah, blah, blah. But I think the most important thing for this upcoming election in the midterms is getting our voters to understand that this new map, the big, beautiful map, is not racist.
Not only do we need to be more careful with who we let into our bodies as women, we need to be more careful in the Black community in general. But it's always a mixed match. There's good women with bad men and bad men with good women and vice versa. It's never equal. There's always a bit of a party. So we have to fix that.
Why do you think that occurs? And why do you think that happens? Is it because of historical prejudice and racism and slavery? Is that the majority of the reason why we see the negative effects in the community? Or is it a combination of that plus culture? Like what do you think is the origin or the contributing factor to why this is incredibly prevalent in communities that we grew up in?
Well, we talk about breaking generational curses all the time.
I know for a fact that the voters in those districts, they're heavily Democrat. But especially in the Black community, we are conservative. We just don't want to admit it. Like if you actually hold the conversation, especially with the older population in the Black community, we're conservative. We just don't want to admit it. And it's tragic because when you have someone like me, my number one strategy for running any campaign is going door to door, especially being grassroots.
I'm running as a Republican. Is that okay?
Oh, y'all voted for Trump.
Okay.
Everybody in the house hate me.
Been to the Republican zone. Like this apartment complex right here, I thought it was like, but seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
If you gotta understand that blacks were Republican before we were Democrats.
a lot of people don't know that, or they say the party switched.
Yeah. I'm in here watching what he's gonna do with Chicago right now.
Oh man, did you hear the other day he's trying to fix the housing, so he's trying to go away with the closing costs. So I'm
I hope you get it.
Thank
I hope
you.
you get it. And
Brandon,
congratulations, yes ma'am.
can I get you a birthday coming up?
Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks too.
Okay, well, happy early birthday, but you guys will see me a few more times before election day. Did I give you a card?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Yes ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We have the great Miss Payton Jackson running for a 33rd Congressional District here in the state of Texas, more specifically in Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I'd like to thank everybody, give everybody a chance to get in here. We did an interview back in earlier this year, I believe it was March or April, with Miss Payton Jackson. She was running for City Council of Fort Worth, and now she has moved on to running for Congress. She's going to be running, like I said, in 33rd District, and she is here to tell us about what her plans are for Congress and any future plans going forward, to give us an update. All right. Miss Payton Jackson.
She was in the studio and her camera wasn't on. I just texted her, hey, everybody, my name is Regina Connell with West Virginia Wire. Once again, getting together with Mixed Texan Report, and we are going round 2 with No Taxing Payton Jackson. So she did come into the studio, you guys. That montage you saw after we had gotten the opportunity to interview her, she was running for the 8th city, how do y'all say
City
that?
Council, 8th District, City Council.
Yeah, they say it a little
Worth.
different in Texas. The the 33rd Texas district, the 8th Texas City Council district. So she's shaken the dust off of her feet from that and moved on to running for the 33rd Texas Congressional District, which we already knew she was going to, whether she won or she didn't win the race. So anyway, so you want to give them some highlights or anything? Talk to everybody while people get in the room. We get this shared out and we wait on Miss Jackson to come back in.
If you know what I'm thinking is we could play some of that video of her opponent to give people an idea what she's up against.
Agreed. Let me pull that right now. I was bookmarking some stuff today and I said, I want to be prepared. And so, yeah, we're going to check out her opponent. And her opponent is Mark Vesey. So he's going to give us some important information. So let me do the share screen. And she may have thought we didn't see her. I don't know, but I did text her, and I'll try to call her here in a minute while we're viewing this clip. So you guys, I pulled this off of the X platform. I just simply went to Mark Vesey's X profile page, and we're going to take a look at what he's about, who he is, and what he has to say.
Up to 5
that we're going to watch
seats.
that in a minute, but this is the first one I wanted us to watch.
The most important thing I'm fighting for, to save hardworking Americans, to protect their health care from Trump and his crazy billionaires.
To save what from?
We're going to fight today, tomorrow, as long as it takes to make sure that Americans can afford to live in America, to succeed in America, provide health care for their family.
We're fighting to protect people's health care coverage and ensure that we have safe communities, that our hospitals remain open, that people have access to clinics in their neighborhoods. That's what this fight is about.
Democrats are here, not on vacation like our colleagues. We're fighting for health care, to stop this health care crisis that has been created by Republicans.
I'm fighting for all of Americans and their access to affordable health care. And I'm also fighting for a government that works and a Congress that functions.
We're fighting for health care for Americans. 13 million Americans in the big reconciliation bill, the big ugly bill. Now millions more will lose their health insurance. And look, it's an old saying, but if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And right now, the idea of Republicans will tear health care away from millions more Americans is just irresponsible, and we're going to continue to fight that.
I am fighting for my hardworking constituents that go to work every single day, either by car, on a bus, or by train. And I am simply asking Republicans, don't throw them under the bus. Fix the healthcare system that you broke. Let's get back to work and pass this budget bill.
All right, so there you have that. Her opponent was the first guy on there, and we do have another video for you with him on it. And you can see he has a lot of the same talking points as a lot of the Democrats. You know, Orange Man bad, talking about the redistricting here in Texas. Greg Abbott is one of his foot soldiers, blah, blah, blah. Same old nonsense, but we're happy to have Miss Payton Jackson show up pretty soon and tell us what she's, how she's going to handle this campaign. And just to give you a rundown of what we're going to be talking about, we're going to go over her run for city council, her plan for Congress, what she plans to do in there, how the race has been going. And I'm also very curious about her safety, how she deals with threats and things like that, as she has gotten more, become more of a public figure. So I want to go through that because, she's out there in the public eye. She's, fighting for this seat in Congress, and she's out there on the streets. She's out there putting in work, going at door knocking, and you may not always get a good response when you door knock. So I'm really excited to see what she has to say about that, as far as what she deals with on a daily basis. I know she had somebody, I believe, try to hit her with a flagpole or something in California, some crazy nonsense. But but she's tough.
She is a toughie. I like her. So update on Miss Jackson. So she had an error message. She said she's using Safari web browser. So I told her to restart her device, try to come back in. I'm going to resend her the link. So keep talking. You're doing a fantastic job. I just got off the phone with her. And if you want me to play any clips or do anything like that, just holler at me. Let me know.
Yeah, I want to play that video, of him talking about her opponent talking about redistricting here in Texas and talking about Greg Abbott. So if you do have that, I want to play that for the viewers.
I think I do have it. Yeah. Well, this one's about the okay. So Payton and Abbott's threats to arrest and detain Texas state representatives. So this was in August 12th. That's an old thing. This is a Republican shutdown. He's given the same old. This is about ICE. I won't stay silent while Kristi Noem and Trump's ICE agency abuses people and attacks our civil. Hold on, let me go to his okay, here's his. Oh, I'm not even showing it. Why don't you say something? Okay, guys, so here's his page. And what did you ask me to look for?
Well, I guess I just want to show people some of the talking points that he has that he uses that sounds the exact same as that everybody else uses on the other side.
I think he was a guest on the bookmark that I have, and it was when California was talking about redistricting, and then he put his 2 cents worth in. Do you want to watch it to see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, give me one moment. I'll get this sucker right here. Oh, Lord. I'm trying, Mixed Texan. Give me just a second. I'm so sorry. I don't understand. I always struggle with these stupid layouts. Now I've got your face covered. We're just having fun, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind us. Look, I'm just going to do it like this, man, for right now. I'm just trying to get it to where, look at this. Look at this. I just, StreamYard changed stuff, right? And I could see stuff better, and now I can't see anything, but I'm trying to find where. This is stupid. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to watch it full screen like that. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
Up to 5 GOP seats. Joining me now is Congressman Mark Vesey, Democrat of Texas. His district in Dallas-Fort Worth is one that could be redrawn if the new Texas congressional map passes. Congressman, thank you for being with me. First, let me get your reaction to this attempt by the state attorney general to expel these 13 Democrats from office.
Yeah, just more foolishness by Ken Paxton, the attorney general, Greg Abbott, who's subservient and servile to Donald Trump. And of course, all of this goes up to the very top to Trump himself, who knows that his big ugly bill is unpopular, that the Trump tariff taxes are unpopular. And so he's trying to figure out a way how he can keep this chaos going by holding the majority or Republican majority in the House. And so they basically have delved all of this down to mid-decade redistricting, which is absolutely crazy and unnecessary.
Well, speaking of keeping it going, how long do you believe that Democrats should stay out of the state to prevent a vote? Weeks, months, if necessary?
I think that they should stay as long as they possibly can, because let me tell you that this is not going to end in Texas. Texas is just the first step. They're talking about going to Missouri. They're talking about Florida, of course, which you heard earlier today, and other states. And if we sit back and just allow them to do this, then that's what they're going to do. We have to send the message that we are willing to do anything, like they are willing to do anything, to make sure that we have fair, unrigged elections going into 2026. And so I think they should stay for as long as they possibly can. I was in Chicago with them. They were upbeat. They were enthusiastic. They are heroes to Texans that want to put flood relief first and not do all this tomfoolery around this mid-decade redistricting.
What broke the quorum break in?
I'm sorry. Did he really just say tomfoolery?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. All right, let's keep going.
2021 was that some Democrats started to feel pressure and then trickled back into the state once the second special session started. and then there was a quorum and the vote held on those election rules changes. Are you hearing or seeing any cracks amongst the Texas House Democrats now?
I've not heard any, and this is a little bit different. This is national now. With Gavin Newsom involved, with Ron DeSantis saying that he's going to redraw, with J.D. Vance in Indiana, with Republicans talking about going to Missouri. Like, this has become very national now. And
Hold
so
on, y'all.
all of the Democratic.
Hey, Payton Jackson is in the house, sir. Do you want to give her
Yeah.
the wonderful introduction that this fine lady deserves?
Yes, Miss Payton Jackson returns for a second interview here on Mixed Texan Report and West Virginia Wire. She has just entered the studio, and we're very excited to talk to her. Some updates on what's been going on with the campaign, her city council run, and what she plans to do in the future. Miss Payton Jackson, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I am so sorry for my tardiness. I'm not sure what was wrong with Safari. I couldn't turn on my camera, so sorry, but I'm here now. How are you?
We're good, girl. We are so glad you are here. We have been so excited about this since you left. And Mixed Texan was like, she's got so many updates. So why don't you take just a second to tell people who you are? But before you do that, you guys, we are streaming across Rumble on both Mixed Texan Report and West Virginia Wire, Queen Connell 16. We're also streaming live across Here X, formerly known as Twitter, across Mixed Texan Report and Queen Connell 16, which is me, Regina, West Virginia Wire, and then also on YouTube. You guys, if you are viewing from YouTube on Mixed Texan Report, his super chats and super stickers are live. So a super chat will stop the show. So put your questions in that. And you guys, we will take some time when comments come in to go over the comments and stuff. But I know Payton Jackson has a lot of stuff to cover with us. So I'm going to be quiet and let's see what's what. You guys ready for this? We were just watching your opponent and listening to his canned speeches. Orange man bad, Trump bad. I'm fighting for your rights.
Yes. TDS.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited to see that because I haven't seen that interview. But there's a lot of updates, very, very general. There's a lot of updates when it comes to the congressional maps for the state of Texas. You guys probably covered that over the summer. It's pretty crazy from the Democrats whenever they were in town. But yes, I wrapped up my run for city council, unsuccessful in that, but I did learn a lot of lessons. And now I am running for the second time for U.S. House District 33. So I'm excited.
We're excited for you.
That's very exciting. Yeah. So what lessons did you learn from that city council run?
Oh, what lesson didn't I learn? I believe the number one lesson that I learned from that race was sometimes people don't want the truth.
Okay.
Sometimes people just don't want the truth. I mean, you can show them the water, but I mean, you can't drown them. It's illegal. But I mean, honestly, we can't just blame the politician at this point, because who's keeping the politician there? Whether or not we have term limits, we know the dirt that a lot of these politicians do, especially when you have people like me bringing it to the forefront, which you don't have to like my delivery, but facts are facts. But specifically in the Black community, in the Black churches, in the Black nonprofits, we don't like the truth all the time. So that's the number one lesson that I learned. Wow. I understood why politicians, when they issue their dirt, they do it through PACs or organizations. They don't post it on their page. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so first of all, how is your son doing?
Amazing.
Okay, we were having a debate.
We had a debate. You have to solve it for us.
Okay.
He's 10 or 8?
9. He would be 9 now, right?
She did her homework.
Did you hear that about yank my headphones out, man? Did you hear that?
I was close.
I was right. You were wrong. Nah, 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 nah.
He turned 9 next month. Yeah, she did.
Okay. Very good. Very good. I'm glad he's doing okay.
Yes, he is blessed.
Good, good. So I want to talk about some of your plans before we get into some of these other issues. I want to talk about what is your platform? What are the top 3 things you're running on?
I am so
for city for Congress.
Fired.
We knew she was right. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this behind her. Go ahead, my lady.
This just came in. I love this sign. So these are a few of my policies. Back to blue, which is general, but it's really for ICE. Secure the borders, protect the life, because I'm pro-life, limit the term limits, eliminate the taxes, protect the Second Amendment, and drain the swamp. That's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so as far as securing the border, anybody who watches my channel knows I'm the border guy. I'll talk about immigration a lot and securing the border. Trump has done a very good job at doing that. Mm-hmm. And we have to get legislation passed so that is sustained. What kind of legislation do you want to see passed so something stays in permanently?
Well, we know that anything Trump does can be reversed if the Democrats come back in power. So not only do we need to maintain power on a federal level as far as the presidency, but also make sure that we have a backing in Congress. A few of the things that I want to see changed is, one, it should be a felony for breaking into our country. And right now it's not. It's a misdemeanor. And a lot of people are under the impression that you can't go to jail for a civil crime. The only time I went to jail, it was a civil crime. It was contempt of court. And I learned very quickly that you don't have the First Amendment while in courtrooms. You just don't. So if I can go to jail for simply speaking out of turn in a courtroom, surely people can go to jail and stay in jail for breaking into our country.
Can I interject there for a second? So I don't know if are you familiar with Don Lemon? Do you know who Don Lemon is? Okay, the lemon head.
Don Lime.
Yeah.
Not worth a dime, Don Lime.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, he went on the street, right? And he was talking about, he was asking this lady, do you believe that, they should be jailed or whatever? And she was like, well, they're breaking the law. He was like, no, it's a misdemeanor. So he was basically saying that a misdemeanor was not breaking the law. And she said, well, then why would it be in place if it wasn't breaking the law, right? Like, why would they even have it? So this is the kind of mentality that we're dealing with, right? Yeah. So if they already don't know that a misdemeanor is breaking the law offense, and like you said, and you don't have freedom of speech in incarceration or anything else like the military, you really don't have freedom of speech. So I don't know where all of this came from, but keep going on this. So I'm with you on that. A misdemeanor is absolutely breaking the law. You will go to court, you could be arrested for it. Some misdemeanors you get a ticket for it. So it seems like that's what the Biden administration was doing, was handing out tickets. Hey, you crossed the border, you don't have stuff, here's your ticket.
Slap on the hand. Yeah, slap on the hand and release. But no, you're absolutely right. But we live in a time where we have congressional leaders saying that if just because you commit a crime, you aren't a criminal. So this type of mentality is normalized. But not just making it a felony and making the violations more harsh. I want to make America inhospitable to illegal immigrants. So no more renting or buying property, no more right to education. The problem is everyone seems to have American rights as long as they're on American soil. And that's not right. Yeah. American rights should be reserved for the American people, American citizens. But the number one step that we need to take when it comes to immigration, legal or illegal, is removing any non-citizen from our census. That's why we have Democrats acting the way that they act. Did y'all see VC's video at the ICE facility the other day? It was
Do you
like,
want me to? Can we play it? Because I did. I think I bookmarked it. Is that the one where he had the accordion file that looks like it
girl,
has
I thought it
nothing
was
in
a
it?
cardboard box at first because he made a couple of videos. I thought it was a box that he put a sign on. Oh my god!
Yes, it was so cheesy. Let's take a
Yes,
look at it.
It was an accordion file,
Yep.
and I have a response to that. I can't wait to make that trip. I'm gonna actually bring them some donuts because between Julie Johnson, Jasmine Crockett, and Mark VC, they just harass ICE agents. They are worse than any protester I know. The way that they harass these officers, just doing their job. We literally just had an attack on that center.
Yeah. So you're right. That very first video, it does look like a box. I
It
thought he
does.
had an accordion file. That is so fake. Why didn't they ask him to pull the files out of it? Hey, what you got in there? Let's see what you got in there. But hold on, let me pause this. We're gonna watch this, guys. Okay. You ready? You ready, Miss Jackson? You ready, Payton?
Gosh.
Here we go. This is what we're dealing with.
Facility. And as you can see, I have an accordion full of inquiries here. And I have letters from myself and other members of Congress. And we're simply asking for answers. It's been well over 120 days. We haven't received any sort of follow-up, any sort of response, letting us know the answers to our questions. We've heard terrible stories about this particular facility: sleep deprivation, water deprivation, food deprivation.
What? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. There was sleep deprivation, water deprivation. All right, let's keep going. He keeps going.
Than they're supposed to.
Sorry about the sound.
To treat people this way and use people this
So he said it's bullshit to treat people this way and use people.
when, in fact, we could work together to fix the system and not have to deal with all these border politics.
I mean, I really want to largen the screen and say, did you guys see any papers in there? Usually you can see.
So empty. It looks
Right.
so empty.
That was my first thought, Payton. That was my first thought. So do you want to look at this other quick video? Because the one that it did look like a box. It does look like a box. I thought he was at the Postal Service or something. I never watched it. So I'm watching. Is this the one?
This is why we need term limits. But go ahead.
I agree, my lady. I agree. All right, let me get it backed all the way up. All right, guys, here we go.
It never used to work that way. People would talk to their member. As members of Congress, we would send inquiries into these field offices, and they would get back with us quickly. It's been well over 120 days. They're violating the law by not getting back.
So he's saying the same thing from what I'm hearing, but he's going to go on for a minute and some change. But I want to just say this looks like it's off of a movie prop or a movie set, that they used it for a prop. What do you think?
Yeah.
It doesn't look real.
It is a prop, and he's putting on the show.
All right, let's keep going.
It is a prop.
Are reports here of sleep deprivation, reports here of food and water deprivation, people being held much longer than they're supposed to at this facility. There's just a list of things, and this is what you would expect in communist China. This is what you would expect in Russia. This is what you would expect in Venezuela. This is what you would expect in some of these other places, but not here in America. This is crazy. Again, I've worked in government for a long time. I have worked under Democratic administrations and Republican administrations. I've never seen anything like this. The subterfuge, lack of transparency. You saw how terse that guy that works at this ICE facility was with me. It's crazy what's happening right now. And people need to stop picking sides based on who they like the most. This is not a cowboy.
Hey, do you think he has a teleprompter inside of his glasses?
No.
Who knows?
I mean, really think about it, because he's delivering he said the same exact thing in the video. I mean, there was 20 seconds. Did you really want to listen to the last 20 seconds? Because I don't mind playing it. I just can't wait to hear what your response is.
My response is taking those nice officers, instead of complaints, some donuts, some food. That's my response. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But my response is going to be very funny to him. But that's what Democrats do in North Texas. Julie Johnson has done it. I haven't seen Jasmine do it. Mark VC doing it. I mean, that's what they do. They visit the facilities. Some prisons in Texas don't even have AC. Why they waste time going to ICE facilities to cater to people who broke into the country?
Yeah.
But the reason this is because these people affect the census. The census affects his job. So once we take that off of the table, a lot will change.
Yeah, that's why they fight so hard against, census count or deportation, because they know they're going to lose people in those counts, and they'll lose seats.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to ask you about, okay, when it comes to supporting ICE and changing the laws to make it a felony to break into the country, how do you feel about when people say, well, all they did was cross over to the country, they've been here for 10 years, done nothing wrong, it's inhumane to send them back, across the border? How do you feel about that?
The only right that you should have after breaking into this country is the right to remain silent. I don't care because you came here 10 years ago and you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You broke the law. That was a crime. You are a criminal.
Yeah.
Say that again. What's the only right they have, Payton? What's the only right they have? Say it one more time.
The right to remain silent. It's very simple. I'm not saying the legal way is the easiest process.
Right.
I'm saying it's the only way.
Yeah.
You either like it or you don't. Break into China.
Yeah. So how many years do you want, if it's a felony, how many years do you think somebody should be in prison if they cross over the border illegally?
Ideally, I would automatically send them back. I would charge them and then send them back, like instant deportation. I don't want to waste money in prison. Like, I don't want to do that. But if I have to, 5-10 years. But I don't want to fill our prisons with foreign prisoners.
Yeah.
I want to just
makes sense.
Go back home. You either come here the legal way or you don't come here at all.
That's fair.
That's very fair.
The only way. Because, I mean, think about it. We talked about this last time, how many rights illegal immigrants have. They have all of the American rights. In Illinois, it was seen that they have the Second Amendment. Why? How? Why? And we have Black women leading this nonsense, not just Jasmine Crockett. She has a fan base behind her, and some of her fan base, they're in positions of power.
Yeah.
These are Black women leading this nonsense in the Democrat Party. Black women and gay people.
Yeah. Well, that's the number one thing I hear them upset about. Were you going to say something, Mixed Texan? Because as soon as you do, I have a couple of questions. So we know the first policy, number one, is, cleaning up our country, getting the border fully secure, which I think the border is secure now. Is just a matter of getting the process going to where deportations can actually continue to happen and all this lawfare will stop.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, Mixed Texan?
Well, I guess the only thing it kind of plays off to what Payton said about making a felony to cross over, and it doesn't matter if you've been here for 10 years and done nothing else wrong. The thing is that I feel like Democrats feel that if you can stay as long as you don't do it, as long as you don't kill anybody, or rape somebody or whatever, then you're good. I just don't understand that.
Well, what I don't understand is, they talk about this, yet you need all this identification and stuff just to hold a job. So they must be a strain somewhere on someone, right? Even if family members are taking care of them, if our tax dollars are going to take care of people who are not legally here just to balance the ballot, or try to take over the ballot. So I guess my question would be, and would it be could this happen? So your first thing is like ICE getting all that under control. So when we talk about economic growth and small business empowerment, I saw some posts, a post you made today talking about the tariffs and all of that. So I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about that. And then taxes and federal spending, you know, the no taxing Jackson pledge, which is the number one thing that you stand on. And then education and workforce development. The last time we talked, you were a strong supporter of trade school. You talked about that a lot. And then federal overreach and protecting Texas independence, border security and local impact, which is what we're talking about now. So I know I just threw a lot at you, but so with all that, you know, how can local businesses start thriving and all of that, or can it, until we get all of this under control? And with Mark Vesey, he's obviously using some kind of tax dollars, right, to advocate for criminals.
That's a good point. He is misusing tax dollars to advocate for criminals. But if you follow the whole charade with the maps this summer when they were redrawing them, the whole debate from the Democrat side was protecting illegal immigrants. And to answer your question before I go off on a rant, we can do two things at one time. We can multitask. We can address the border crisis and the plague that mass illegal immigration or any type of illegal immigration have on the Black and brown community or the American community in general, while at the same time identifying wasteful spending to lift the burden off of local businesses and local homesteaders. For instance, in Dallas right now, for whatever reason, we are debating whether or not we should take $25 million from the federal government in exchange for a program to partner with ICE. The police chief came out and said, there's nothing going on in Dallas. We don't want to partner with ICE, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, a man was just beheaded in the new District 33. Jasmine Crockett didn't say anything about it. Julie Johnson didn't say anything about it. Mark Vesey didn't say anything about it. Not even the mayor said anything about it. Nobody local came out and said anything outside of the county commissioner, I believe, and he made a mental health excuse. We already don't have enough resources for mental health as is. Why do you think it's appropriate to misuse American tax dollars? Mind you, we're taxing housing. This is property taxes we're wasting. Housing. Why do you think it's appropriate to misuse our mental health resources on a man that not only broke into the country, he's had trouble in Florida, Cali, and Houston, and he just beheaded someone at 9:30 a.m. And then, no, he beheaded him and then kicked it around the parking lot like it was a soccer ball. So Mark Vesey, Jasmine Crockett, Julie Johnson, they could be loud in front of these ICE facilities defending illegal immigrants. Loud about a racist map, quiet when heads are literally rolling. So yeah, we need to multitask when it comes to North Texas, but Texas in general.
You reported on that, didn't you, Mix Texan?
I did.
I couldn't watch it because I couldn't watch that beheading stuff. I just couldn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did talk about the beheading. And also, as Payton said, how the police chief said nothing is going on. But there was a guy arrested, an illegal alien arrested in Dallas for putting a bounty on ICE agents' heads. That happened in Dallas. And, and they arrested him, thankfully. And to say nothing is going on is just preposterous to me because there's a lot going on. So we all know that.
It's political ploys, political play. I haven't witnessed a sheriff, or not a sheriff, but a chief openly oppose a mayor like that in a long time. Yeah. But I can tell you, taxpayers in the city of Dallas, we need that $25 million.
Yeah, that's
we
a lot of money.
we need that.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Regina, you had something. Is there another point you wanted to touch on, Regina, that you asked her? Oh, I think she stepped away. But anyway, I want to look at your platform again. It says protect the Second Amendment. Okay, so eliminating taxes. You want to eliminate taxes as a whole, or what is your plan for that?
So I have a say-so over federal income tax. I want to start from the bottom up. So anyone making 60,000 and under, start with them and then work our way up. But just like I mentioned before, two things at one time, also addressing the wasteful spending. The DOD has never passed an audit. So why we're auditing taxpayers, I have no idea. I have no idea why every single person of power, for the most part, we have ignored the department that gets the biggest chunk of our budget never being able to pass an audit. They literally came out years ago, decades ago, saying that they were inflating expenses. Still can't pass an audit to this day.
What about the lottery? What about the I know Texas has no state taxes, and I know that Mixed Texan was like, they need to get these property taxes under control. That was one thing that was on the table. So what is happening with the lottery money? What are they doing with that?
I have no idea. I know that that's a scam. I don't know where that money goes. Maybe highways, roads, can't be, because potholes here are horrible. But I have no idea. I don't play the lottery. But I do know that we need to stop taxing property. Income and property, number one on my list. I just don't have a say-so in property. The only thing that I can do, which is a lot, is advocate for it on a local and state level. It's on the ballot, though. We have an election right now. It's not to eliminate taxes, though. And that's what I want. I just want to completely go away with property taxes for anyone that's homesteading local to that area.
Okay. Have you heard? Oh, sorry about that. Have you heard about the fair tax plan? I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've heard of it.
Okay. How would you feel about? So I know you eliminate income taxes altogether, but then you have an embedded tax on everything that you buy, and that way everybody pays taxes every time you buy something, and everybody keeps their paychecks, 100% of their income.
A consumer tax?
Yeah, kind of like that.
I support it. So we have a bill, HR 25, that's aimed to eliminate taxes, but it introduces a rebate program. And it's something like what you're talking about. I just don't like rebates. I'm okay with a consumption tax, but I would like to protect anything that's essential. Like anything that we absolutely need. So I would like to introduce a luxury tax on any cars, of course not American made, any luxury thing that you can go without. But you just, you want.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on, I'm against the rebates. A lot of, chatter has been, oh, well, Trump's considering doing a tariff rebate and all this. I'm like, keep the rebate, do away with income taxes. Keep your rebate, do away with income taxes, because, the no tax on tips, that doesn't help my husband who works off of commissions, bonuses, and a salary. So where is the tax break for him, And so I'm with you. And I know it's going to take some time, right, to get, to the bottom of all this waste and fraud and get it all stopped. So I remember you talking about the bill HR 25. I've seen you talk about it in other interviews, and I think you mentioned it in the interview that we had with you before. So what would this luxury tax be like? Like, where would it start? Would it be like by a dollar amount, or like you said, would it just be overseas stuff? Would it things that are made in America be exempt from that? What would that look like?
Well, I would like to follow Trump's model. And he actually mentioned that earlier this year. I know the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, it was big, but like you mentioned, it doesn't necessarily affect everyone. But he mentioned his desire to implement no taxes for federal income across the board. It's just we need more people in Congress on board. To answer your question, I would like the American people to decide on that because we can't just leave it to one class of people. I'm not a tax the rich type of gal, but I would like to introduce some type of luxury tax. Again, I don't want to do the rebate thing because I want to protect anything that's essential for the American people. But I want to target at least one thing that everyone wants but not needs.
Okay. That's interesting. Now, the last thing I saw in there was protect the Second Amendment. So crime is a big issue in a lot of places. We have a lot of criminals committing crimes. We saw what happened in, what was it, North Carolina? You know, a girl got her neck cut, and we have
Arena.
a lot of, yes, we have a lot of mass shootings happening, unfortunately. So do you think, okay, obviously we cannot, I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think the problem is the justice system? When people say, oh, well, look at that, somebody shot somebody, you know, put restrictions on guns, but do you think the issue is the justice system?
Do I think the issue is the justice system specifically for gun charges or in general?
Yeah, like criminals getting out and committing more crimes. They get their hands on guns and they kill somebody.
Well, not to mention that also, if I could interject, because apparently the guy, he didn't use a firearm.
I was just about to say that.
Right.
No, he didn't.
But he was a repeat offender. To my understanding, he had been released how many times? Is that what you're referring to, Mixed Texan? That they've already, I mean, they're criminals. They've been, I mean, violent crimes, not just shoplifting. It's violent crimes.
From my understanding, that scenario, which anyone can fact check me, from my understanding, his mother warned officials that he needed to be institutionalized. And a gun clearly wasn't the problem here because he didn't use a gun. He slit her throat and walked away chanting, "I got that white girl." So there's more to talk about.
And I want to say,
not just mental health, but he should have been institutionalized, and I blame the judge. Go ahead.
He should have. That light rail, I've ridden that light rail. My husband's from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we moved to Winston from the Charlotte area. But thank God we got out of there. You know, it's expanded and gotten so big. And I was shocked to hear that happened in Charlotte. I truly was. I didn't know that things had gotten that bad over there.
Well, I mean, look across the nation. It's not just bad there. Like, I've been in Dallas, Fort Worth since Hurricane Katrina, so 20 years. I've never seen someone beheaded. I mean, we're living in crazy times.
Yeah.
The world's gone mad.
Matter.
I mean, yeah, I guess my question was like, how do you protect you want to protect the Second Amendment and you want to protect citizens' rights, but at the same time, do you have a plan to keep firearms out of bad actors' hands? Fight crime, I should say.
I would like to. Absolutely.
So maybe something like stricter background checks and stuff like that. Is that what you mean? Or?
Well, here's the thing. I don't believe the FBI, CIA, whoever it is they're doing enough when it comes to being preventative. A lot can be put online before actions are taken. And that's usually the routine. Like, look at what happened to Charlie. There was a video posted the day before that. And it was similar for that church incident right before that. So if we can be more preventative and aware and actually listen to family members when they do speak up, we can prevent a lot of this. But I do want to go ahead and say, anybody that's taking like the medicine that trans people have to take, I don't think should own a gun. That's what I do support.
I agree with you.
As far as gun control.
It makes them too mentally unstable. Truly, it really does. Let me ask you a question, since we're talking about, social media, all of that, and responsibility as far as, parents that are saying, hey, this is happening. So I recently, and I'm not going to mention the content creator's name because I don't want to, because last time I was aggressive with my partner when I got mad at this content creator. But I heard this content creator say, and I do apologize publicly to everyone for that. Anyway, so she mentioned the fact that if I stabbed them, I'm not sure that they would bleed. And she was, she mentioned a couple of specific names like Elon Musk and Sam Altman and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, I was really surprised and shocked to hear the person say that, And then I think about all the lunacy and the crazy people that we've got out here, and to make a statement like that, no matter how you feel about someone, what if one of her lunatic fans or someone that's not even a fan says, hey, that's a great idea, maybe they really are AI? And that's, to me, not trying to dive into the AI, but I'm just talking about the influential part of it, right? So at some point, when people are spouting so many conspiracies, and then you introduce the trans thing in there, and then the medications and all of that. And it's my understanding that there are some that the military was providing this. People joined the military so that they could get this treatment and stuff. Please tell me that's not true. And I know in some states that they do have state-funded programs because they consider it some sort of disability. What do they call it? Gender displacement something?
Gender dysphoria.
That sounds about right.
I don't know what they have. I'm not sure if they're being provided anything in the military. I'm sure anything was possible under Biden, but I don't think that that's happening under Trump. But I can't attest to that. I don't know.
Okay. So, Ms. Payton Jackson, I wanted to ask you something I've been very curious about. One of them is, how do you, now you're more of a public figure now, so how do you deal with the threats and aggression in public? Is that something you deal with on a regular basis?
I try to stay home. So I recently moved. I don't think people really know who I am here. And Fort Worth it was a lot worse. But no, I mean, I get the threats online, but in person, they don't really happen. And I've been getting threats for years, so I kind of I usually see it first thing in the morning. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's nice. You type that at 4 a.m. Cool. And I just move on with my day. I pray.
Okay.
I pray for them. That's how I do it. That was the answer. I pray for them.
Okay, that's good. As I was concerned about that. I know you went to California. I think we talked about this on
Tampa.
Somebody didn't they?
With that whole.
Yeah.
She has a court date coming up. Yeah, that was Tampa.
Oh, good. Okay,
good. I'm curious though. So let's talk about your son for a second. How do you prepare him in a world like this, and especially for what you're running for? Or do you just keep business as usual? And it sounds to me like he's pretty smart anyway. And you did say he's autistic, right?
Yes, okay. He has autism. I've learned my lessons with bringing him on the campaign trail. Like, I'll take him if I'm block walking, because usually people are pretty nice, usually. But I don't include him on the campaign trail much to protect him, because people are evil. And they don't care about the autism. They're the loudest mouths for DEI, but when it comes to this conservative and her child that has autism, I swear it's hate crimes. But
if you were on the left, they'd be all,
yeah. But no, I keep him away from society in general because I live in North Texas. There's a lot of liberals out here, so
Yeah, sadly.
unfortunately, it's like CNN view every time I have to go outside. But
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm in Dallas Fort Worth as well, and it is, Tarrant County is more conservative, but we do have a lot of liberals here as well.
okay, Tarrant County is conservative. Yes, Fort Worth. Go to the next city council meeting. You'll see just how liberal Fort Worth is. People they twist it with they see a cowboy hat and they think, oh, okay, conservative. No, this is a very liberal city.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. That
very.
I'm sure it's changed. I haven't lived there in a long time in Fort Worth, but I'm sure that it changed a lot over the past few years. Mm-hmm. Things seem to be getting a little more trendy, and it just, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. But let's see what else I wanted to ask you about. A comment that you made. I think it was a video you posted, and you said the last time, or the only time, the slavery comment about working a 9 to 5. I want to.
You want me to grab that one? Let me grab that one.
Yeah,
we gotta let the viewers see it because that was fantastic. That was fantastic.
Yes. By the way, super chats are available, everybody.
Yeah, let them know. Let me go through these comments real quick while I'm digging. Can you pin those comments over there to the right while I dig up this footage? And Payton, if you want to say anything to everyone.
Hi, guys.
I just put her on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't do that ever again. No,
you're fired.
I've been down for a month. When I canceled with you, I was sick. Something came up. I think I was sick or I ran into something. But for the past month, I've been down and out, but I'm back.
Good. We appreciate you coming on. It was a pleasure last time, and I'm just so excited that you're progressing, moving along your campaign. So I'm really happy that you came on here. We want to help you win that seat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm scrolling your timeline here, and
should be like 3 or 4 videos.
Oh, is that recent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me go back. Oh, well, no wonder I wasn't even on your timeline. But I remember that post. I remember that. Labeling
while she's looking for that, Payton, how long do you think that? What does the term limit look like for you as far as enforcing term limits in Congress? What should the term be for somebody in the House and somebody in the Senate? How long should they serve?
Max 12 years.
Okay.
That's a stretch.
Walk up to me.
I heard.
Okay.
But yeah, to answer your question, 12 years. That'll be 6 terms for the House. And that's that's more than enough. 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't get the job done, just go home. We don't need more career politicians. And then that's my thing. You go out and you have a whole Kings rally. No kings, but we have lifetime politicians.
Yeah, right. I
digress.
I didn't think of it that way. You have people in there for 50 years on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
Like somebody like Mitch McConnell, but then you have a lot, Chuck Schumer is one who's been there for years and years. And like you said, we have no kings, but we do have people serving for life in Congress.
Absolutely.
Making a career out of it and getting rich off of it. And the something that's funny to me, just to pivot a little bit, is how much up in arms they are over Trump building this ballroom out of private money. I mean,
they have to complain about something. I mean, he's winning every day. Why not complain about the room that he's paying for?
Yeah. All right. So please tell me I've got the right post here. Hold on, let me go to the thing. So this guy on this video, we're gonna play that, but is it from Stephen Davis? Translation: How dare you think for yourself, boy? Why am I not surprised at this mentality? But it was a video that you made. You were talking on the video, weren't you, Payton?
Wait, what video? Or which video?
The one where you mentioned, yeah, the last time you the only form of slavery experience was working a 9 to 5 or something like that.
Yes.
I was
And
curious
that
about
was,
that.
yeah.
That's on my X, but I think it's easier if you go on my Instagram.
Your
I put a
Instagram?
lot of stuff on X, yeah.
Yeah, because I knew it was before you promoted that other lady, and I was like, I should have kept scrolling because I was like, I was almost there.
Or maybe
I
just
think.
go to my go to the videos tab.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I
Hold on a
usually
second.
just go to my highlights because I don't think I put it in
Your
highlights.
highlight, yeah. Hold on a second. Highlights.
Another thing is, how was the?
No, I didn't put it in highlights. Sorry.
Okay.
No, you're good. Let me find it on Instagram.
It's okay. In the meantime, we want to ask her about what was that like being on talking to Officer Tatum and having an interview with him?
I've been watching him for years. Back when it was cool to be a conservative and be Black, and it's still not cool. But way before I was a conservative, I would watch him. And I would watch him with anger. Because at the time I was leading with emotion and skin color, and how dare you say that and be Black? But the more I let go of my skin color, let go of the emotions, leading with emotions, and began leading with logic, I realized he was right about a lot of things. Now, I don't agree with everything that he says, but he's someone that I had a lot of respect for. So to get that message just out of the blue, I think it was like early in the morning when I got the message, I screamed sitting in my bed, immediately confirmed. And it was everything I thought it would be. And to see him in Tampa as a turning point event, it's been a great year.
That's amazing.
Good,
I
good.
was so excited for you. I mean, we were jumping for joy when we saw that. I was like, look, she got on Tatum Face's show because I was mad at him about something he did like a year ago, and I had a strong difference of opinion with him. But look, I was so excited to see you on his show. And he seems like I've talked to him twice when he was with Salem News. I called into his show twice and got to talk to him twice. So he seems really like laid back and chill. Did you get to meet Nick too, his producer or whatever?
No, didn't get a chance.
Seems like it's like a boys club over there.
Right.
But anyway, you dominate though.
Did you?
Still looking for it. I'm still looking for it. I'm trying to get into Instagram. So stand by. I'm going to find it because let me look through my bookmarks because I want to say that I bookmarked it, but as soon as I'm going to find it. Y'all keep going.
Okay, if not, I can send it to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you
Yeah.
just send it to me through X is probably the easiest way.
Okay.
All right, cool. And then I'll pull it from there.
Yes,
She's
ma'am.
the best, man. I'm fired.
She's ready. She's always prepared.
She's like, I'm on it like duck on it. Let me go over here.
I'm wondering how long this shutdown is going to last.
I hope it shuts down for. Oh, now this is what I want to ask you. What about this lady and this group storming into Mike Johnson's office because I want to be sworn in? What do you mean you want to be sworn in? You just want to be sworn in so you can vote no and keep it shut down. So how do you feel about that?
I don't have all of the details on it, but I did hear a little bit about it. According to what I know, Speaker Johnson said she needs to wait her turn, and he can't do anything with the government shutdown. So, wait your turn.
I love it. Wait your turn. Wait your turn.
Wait your turn. I just sent it to you though.
I got it. I'm picking it up now. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Y'all ready for this? It's going to be great. Let me snatch it up here. Stop it. Hold on. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go,
Yep.
guys.
And I am so tired of people trying to remind me that I used to be a slave. Ma'am, I was born in 1996. The closest I've ever come to slavery or Jim Crow was working a 9 to 5. One time I was forced to work off the clock. That was the closest I've ever come to slavery, okay? I can't even believe that at one point in time, I listened to y'all telling me that if I voted for Trump, that he was going to send me back to slavery. I can't believe that I thought like that. I just listened to y'all. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, okay? And for you to even assume that I come from slavery is insane. Do you assume that white people come from slavery, that Hispanics come from slavery? You understand that black people weren't the only people enslaved, right? And I am so tired of people.
Yeah, that was interesting. I want to ask about that is, okay, so when was the last time you worked a 9 to 5?
What month is it? October.
October.
June.
Okay.
Maybe count July. Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
was
why do you
short term.
feel the short term?
Yeah. Long term.
Okay.
It's been a few years.
Okay. Because your background, refresh me on your some of the things you did in your past as far as career-wise before you got into politics.
Oh, can I take this one? Real
Yeah, go
estate, Airbnb. No,
Look.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you're right. So my background is in accounting. I have a bachelor's in accounting. I've held so many jobs in so many different industries. But I typically stay with accounting. Right after my senior year, during my senior year, I jumped into real estate. First I tried Airbnb. That was during 2020, very lucrative. Then I tried regular long-term tenants, and then I settled, which really was not a settle, for Section 8. So it would be HAP contracts with the state of Texas throughout the Metroplex. And then, speaking.
Okay. Now, okay, so why do you feel like that was in a sense, like a form of slavery, I guess, working a 9 to 5?
It is. I mean, I can quit anytime I want. So it's not technically slavery, but I remember working at Sonic for $3.13 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much slaves got paid, but it was pretty close to $3.
I think it was three hots and a cot.
It was the cheapest jobs that I've ever held that tried to work me the hardest.
Yeah.
If poor dad taught me anything, he taught me how to create money. The more that our society, hopefully the next upcoming generations, the next two under me at least, the more that we think with our mind instead of stressing about overhead, stressing about where rent is going to come from, stressing about keep the lights on, and we tap into our creativity. That's when the world, well, I'm not really trying to change the world. I'm trying to better America. That's when America changes, is when we empower young people not to slave away their youth on a job just to provide rent that's never going to go away because we can't afford the average house. I'm not preaching that. I'm not preaching go to college so you can be successful. Once we tap into our creativity, that's when America changes. But we don't empower the youth. We say the youth are the future, but we don't really act like it. And that's how I was able to get here. And some people may not say it's far, but I had to fight tooth and nail to get this far. But I was able to tap into my creativity because I had real estate to fall back on. I really didn't have to worry about housing during certain parts of my 20s because I purchased property. At certain parts of my 20s, I didn't have to worry about income because I had that property actually producing money on a monthly basis. And that's what I learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad. I didn't get that from my degree. It's an accounting degree, but they taught me how to balance a balance sheet or income statement. Rich Dad Poor Dad taught me how to think about the money, and where it's going, and how can it produce more without me going back to the work. Because I hate working.
Wow.
I don't work. I want to speak.
Yeah, I think a lot of us feel that way. A lot of us would much rather be doing stuff that we can use our creativity with and on our own terms versus, going in and doing the same thing every day, 9 to 5 or whatever it is. But I totally agree with you on that. And thanks for answering that question, because I was really curious. That video caught my attention, so that's why I commented on it.
Sorry.
Hey, it caught my attention too. I was like, "You go, Payton Jackson."
So the video was random, but I made it because
so many
for
people
my entire lifetime, I've been compared to slaves. That was history in school. I know during the month of February, that was the only time that we talked about Martin Luther King or anybody elite in the Black community. But year round, in history, here's slave time. I'm predicted as a slave. We don't have to talk about that during every period. I mean, and here's the thing. We portray this image in school as though Black people were the only slaves, and it's carried out in society. Why are you pointing at me, calling me oppressed simply because I'm Black? I feel as though I am the most privileged person I know, simply because of the mindset that I have, not because of my skin color. The God that I serve, not because of my skin color.
Yeah.
So don't claim that I'm oppressed. I promise you, I am not oppressed. I wake up every single morning and do whatever I please. Don't force oppression on me. There were white slaves, there were Hispanic slaves, there was slavery all around the world. So for you to just automatically say that I am a descendant from slavery is just insane.
It's laughable.
It's laughable and it's offensive at this point.
Yeah.
I don't come from slaves. Let's not do that.
Right. Just like the evolution thing for me. I don't come from monkeys or apes or any of that. So please don't bring that nonsense to me either. Keep going, my lady. Sorry, I interrupted you.
But this is not to belittle someone who is in that lineage. Okay, if you came from slavery, that's fine. You're a descendant of a slave, that's fine. But we're living in 2025. You're only a slave if you want to be a slave. You may be a slave to the Democrat Party. That's another conversation. But there are no slaves today.
No, that's a good point.
Unless they choose to be a slave, and I don't even know what that looks like. What's your interpretation of slave? Too many things are subjective, and they water down things that actually happen. That it's another form of cancel culture, I believe.
You want to see a slave today in 2025? Go to your nearest Democrat meeting. Wherever they're gathered, that's slavery.
Yeah, they're all got the same standard sign.
So in those city council meetings in Fort Worth, is it mostly Black, white? What do the demographics look like?
Depends on when you go. Over the summer, DEI was debated because Trump got rid of it. And they wanted to keep it, the liberals. I can tell you who was there. White people, white liberals, very few Hispanic liberals, and gay people. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm really not trying to be funny.
We know you're
It
not.
was there. Last time I went there, it was a bunch of corrupt organizations and Black people race baiting and white liberals race baiting.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
diverse. The city council is diverse in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
It's just, and I don't care about skin color. My thing is, or the pronouns. My thing is the mindset. I challenge anyone watching to go and watch a Fort Worth City Council public comment. It is like CNN and The View on repeat for hours.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I dealt with this summer, behind the map, behind the DEI. That was my summer. It was CNN and The View on repeat for like 7 hours straight. Drove me insane. It's diverse. It's diverse.
Bless your heart.
Pray for me. Pray for me.
Wow. So how often do they have meetings?
I don't. So with the new map change, they took all of Tarrant County out of my district. So Fort Worth and Tarrant County no longer in District 33. From what I remember, public comment was reduced down to once a month, if that. It's like 12 meetings a year. But they have, I believe, one meeting a week that the public can go to. It's just only certain ones they can actually speak at.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's so. Fort Worth is no longer in District 33. Do you think that the redistricting will help your campaign, or how do you feel? Is it the same?
I was so happy when I seen that map. No, okay, so look. The night before the map came out, I had let me just say, make it very clear, I had no say-so in how they redrew that map. I had no input. But the night before I took the X, I was like, let's just go ahead and push this through. I was tired of the public comment because it was special interest. It was just a waste. The public comment was a waste. Democrats paid protesters to show up and waste time. But the night before on X, I took and I made a post. And I said, just take Fort Worth out of District 33 and let's just get going with everything. Let's go ahead and start the election process. The next day, or the next 2 days, they came out with the map, all of Tarrant County out of the new District 33. Regardless of my personal opinion, I believe that it's great for constituents in District 33 because instead of their voting neighbors being all the way in Tarrant County and in Fort Worth, now West Dallas is now voting with East Dallas. That makes more sense.
It does.
And you just go and look at the shape of the map and see that it makes sense. But then also look at the numbers. The majority didn't change. So for Jasmine Crockett, for Mark Vesey, for Julie Johnson to come out and say that this map is racist simply because it makes the incumbents uncomfortable. That's what they did. They made the incumbents uncomfortable. Just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's racist. You just don't like the map, and it's okay. They messed over Mark Vesey's base. His voting base is in Fort Worth because that's where he's from. People think, oh, I went to high school with him, or my mom went to high school with him. Of course he should get my vote. Pure stupidity.
It is.
And then they move Crockett's district over. So now she resides in my district, but you can run wherever you want. You don't have to live in a district.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
it kind of makes sense, though. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So that does change things. You know, everybody was talking about, you know, that Jasmine Crockett was worried about that because, you know, Sheldon Daniels is her opponent. And then they said it would have landed her in your district because she lives in your district. So, or were they talking about legislation on the table to change the legislation that you had to live in the district that you represented congressionally?
I don't know of any details of someone trying to change it, but they would have to do this in Congress because this is a federal seat. So state law says that you have to live in whatever district you want to represent. Federal law trumps state law. So federal law says you just have to live in the state of Texas.
Mm.
If they're going to change anything about people running for these seats, it needs to be the filing fee. Because in a couple of weeks, I have to hand over $3,000 to run for this seat. That is absurd. They're not going to take more than an hour to do this paperwork. So that's something that's not on my website that I will be doing. Making it easier for people to run against people like me. Like if I get too comfortable and I'm not doing my job, come run against me. I expect you to pay $7.25 because it's not going to take that person more than an hour to process this paperwork. Why are we forcing candidates to send over $3,000 to run for a congressional seat?
So where does that money? Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
If you're about to inquire where the money goes,
nobody knows. It goes in a black hole somewhere.
But it's ridiculous. And on top of the lack of term limits, it virtually makes it impossible. And if the money doesn't stop that person or that candidate, if the lack of term limits doesn't stop that candidate from pushing through races like this, we have corrupt members of the community. Like Mark Beasley, last time I ran against him, gave away $13 million in community projects to nonprofits who are supposed to remain unbiased in politics. If I give you $1 million, are you going to be unbiased? Are you going to love me or Mark Beasley? But they do it every year. Julie Johnson just announced her community projects. So that's another thing that I want to address. If we're sending out checks, it doesn't need my face on it. I don't need my face on that flyer. It's not my money. That's taxpayers' money.
So let me ask you a question. Let's talk about salaries. Let's talk about salaries for representatives. How do you feel about salaries? I know, and I can only speak for West Virginia, so maybe you could fill us in on what it's. And for you guys that don't know, I'm so attached to Texas because Texas is my home state. We now live in West Virginia. So I wanted to put that out there. Like, what business you got over there in Texas business? Because they've said that to me before. I'm like, well, I really don't. I just, I have family there and I used to live there and these two are my buddies. So, we endorse her. So whatever. But anyway, my question would be, so here in West Virginia, I do know that most of the representatives and, on the congressional Senate level, they're making 2 to 3 times the median salary, the median income for their salaries. And, I don't really have a problem with a salary because that's a great deal of responsibility. What kills me is I know a lot of them are making money on the back end on stuff, then there's a lot of fraud. And I feel like if you're making that kind of salary, those kind of things maybe shouldn't be happening. So what do the salaries look like in Texas as compared to the median income for the respective areas? And what is your stance on salaries?
So the salary for Congress, for the position that I'm going for, is $174. The median in my district, I believe, is $50,000 to $60,000. It's not much. The average rental is what I pay more attention to because I believe that should be the minimum wage. I'm not touching the minimum wage for my conservatives, but I do believe that it should be $60,000 to $70,000. And I get that number from the average rental in my area, which is $1,500. So in order to even qualify for said rental, I would have to make 3 times that amount, which is $4,500 times 12. That's roughly $60,000 a year. That doesn't account for any of the extra expenses. That's just to qualify. But how do we make things easier for the American people, specifically in District 33? Addressing local issues, state issues. Why do we have to make 3 times that amount to qualify for a rental? If I'm only paying rent once,
right?
Why do I need to make 3 times that amount? But also credit scores. The credit consumer financial system is definitely something that I want to touch on. Using my finance or accounting degree, our credit system sucks. And this is not really a conservative take, but there's no reason to have 3 major bureaus.
So can I back you up on and push back a little bit when you said, why, and I agree with you on the credit score thing. I definitely agree with you on that. So let's talk about why do I have to make 3 times the amount? So we learned in school that you really shouldn't pay more for rent than what you make in a week, right? So we know that's not the case anymore because, nobody can afford rent. Rents went way high. So with that said, kind of thinking about it, on the graph, you're an accountant. So what should a person this day and age, because I haven't had to look at something like that in many, many years. So what should they be paying for a mortgage or rent versus how much they make? Like, what would that look like on a pie graph? Should it be a quarter of what they make or a third? So if that were the case, it would be understandable that they would want to make sure, hey, you make 3 times the amount, because if all your money's going to rent, how are you eating? How, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the way I'm looking at it.
On a financial advisory stand, 30%, 20 to 30%, you're safe, you're good. That's not the reality. I mean, even without the government shutdown, we know people are literally living paycheck to paycheck. If an emergency that costs $1,000 happened right here, right now, most Americans would have to take out a loan.
Yep.
And that's assuming that you have the credit to take out a loan. And you better pray that you don't have to.
But this is where they get you with those little loan shark places, these Klarnas. Did you know, I think we talked about this the last time you were on here, that they're allowing people to pay for concerts and such with a payment plan.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's consumer.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I went off the beaten path there for a second.
I mean, but you're right. I mean, is it predatory? Yes. But self-discipline.
Yeah, but I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. If someone doesn't have the credit. No, not for a concert. No, that was a bad analogy. No, I was off the concert once you were like,
let's say payment plan for something. A payday loan. That's more predatory.
Yeah, they've outlawed those in a lot of places, but I think they've remade them to where, I don't know. I think it's all crazy. I don't know. So what do you think about this government shutdown? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? What's your prediction?
There's a few things that can happen. I thought it would be over after the whole No Kings, whatever they did the other day.
The unsuccessful rallies.
Did you see the AI video that Trump posted?
Yeah. Harry Sisson is so offended. I saw your post, by the way.
Mind on Twitter. So
he's not even an American citizen.
Who?
Harry Sisson is not an American citizen. He's here on a visa. No.
Ew.
That's why he's so upset that Trump said I should be deported.
I thought he was. Oh yeah, he definitely needs to be deported. But I'm sorry.
Revoke his visa.
Let me answer your question first before I forget. What was it? This is why I don't answer questions like politicians.
So you said one of 2 things could happen on the government shutdown.
Yeah. So I thought it would be over, but it's talks that it'll last until the 21st, unfortunately, or possibly Republicans can use the nuclear option, which is a
Hold on, you said the 21st of November?
Yeah.
Wow, so we'll surpass the 35-day shutdown from Trump's last administration. Why did they do this? Okay, keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah.
It's the Democrats. Or they can use the nuclear option, which is forcing the government open by a simple majority. But I'm scared that Republicans would use that and Democrats would claim that Trump is acting like a king and they may be offended and go out and protest.
They're going to do it either way, and we know they can't defend themselves. They ain't going to bring nothing. They're going to sit in their mama's basements, dress up in garbage cans, and, carry around cans of hairspray for mace. I don't know. I'm just not scared of them.
Me either. It's hilarious at this point.
Yeah, somebody said that they believe it could go all the way into Thanksgiving, but I know Trump is staying pretty firm on his stance. So, and I'm glad to see the Republicans fighting as hard as they are and not budging on certain things.
We
So it's good to
can't
see
budge
that.
on it. We can't budge on it. We cannot. That's how we got in this predicament because we kept saying, "Oh, well, they'll come around. Somebody else will get in office. They'll replace them." No, no. Forgive
I mean,
me.
no, but you're
I
right.
digress as well.
It's a clean CR. It's the Senate Democrats. We only need 5.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it is. What's funny is that Trump's approval rating actually has gone up.
Skyrocketing.
It's gone up. So I think the message is getting out there pretty well that, who's responsible for this shutdown, and it's not the Republicans.
You're right.
Yeah, that reminds me. What was that like for you when Trump re-truthed your video? How did that feel?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. So that was amazing.
It happened twice this year.
Wow.
And both times I was in awe. First time I was at work. Sucked. I hated that. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't celebrate. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, somebody told me on X. I was like, oh my God. At first I didn't believe them. And then I fact checked them. And then it happened again in September or August. One of the two. But yeah, both times I was shocked.
I'd say that's an endorsement, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
Real quick, we have a comment from BullyCon saying, honestly, I'm not sure what side I'm on. Are you referring to the government shutdown, my friend?
Probably
Let us know in the comments.
Yep. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know how you feel about that. Whose side are you on? Who's responsible for it? When will it end? Will it go into Thanksgiving? All those things. Payton, so I do have a couple of things I want to ask you. Okay, so running for Congress, I know you want to focus on this race right now. And do you see yourself going any higher? Maybe Senate, Texas governor? I mean, just,
President. I was thinking on the couch. I'm so glad you asked that question because I was like, you know what? I really want to ask her, you going to go all the way with this, my lady? Because I could really see her being the first female president, right? Or vice president. I can't even count the last VP as a VP. That just doesn't count. That does not count.
Fair.
You would be the first woman. You know what I mean? Woman of true color. If she wanted to do that black scent thing and all that, didn't know what denomination.
She had different accents. She had like 3 or 4.
Her country cracker accent was the worst. Okay, I mean, it really was. Y'all gonna.
I don't know. I've thought about Senate, and we definitely need more Republicans in the Senate, obviously. I don't know. I'm not a career politician. I can say I'll probably be running for office for the rest of my life because every single week I see something that needs to change in the system. Like over the summer, the whole charade with the map, them leaving the state.
That was ridiculous. I was so upset about that.
To how much time and money we waste on the state level. So if I have to leave Congress eventually and jump down to the state level, I will. If Senate calls me, I'll go to Senate, but I haven't thought like presidential. I'm way too young. I don't qualify, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, it's exciting to think about. I mean, at least from my perspective, I'll never run for office. I thought about doing city council. I like being on the microphone better.
I mean, you're on the microphone when you run for office.
Yeah, I like being on this side though. I like interviewing the candidates instead. the behind the scenes stuff, you know. But yeah, it's exciting to think to see how well you can do in Congress. You know, if this does go well for you, it's just going to be really exciting to see you up there on Capitol Hill, seeing you interviewed on TV. And another question I have is, do you have a plan for is like how that's going to work with you living in two places? Have you thought about that?
I travel semi a lot. No, not really.
Okay. Just kind of go with it as it comes.
Well, one of my favorite books is The 48 Laws of Power. And one of the last laws was to be formless. Just go with the flow. I'm going wherever God takes me. He'll take care of me.
I love it. Absolutely love that. And, you know, I like your attitude of, you know, I'll fill the need where the need is. I'll fill the gap because, you know, I've often said I may have to run for some sort of office here in West Virginia because I'm looking around and I'm thinking you're adding beds to substance abuse centers. Why would you do that? You know, we have no way, even when they get sobered up. Sorry, there's a tickle in my throat.
It's something.
Even when they get sobered up, where are they going to go? Where are they going to work? We can't support them, you know? Anyway, I'm going to drop for a second, get this tickle out of my throat. Y'all keep going.
So we have some more responses from our commenter, Bully Khan. Let's see. He says he's not sure. When he says he's not sure what side he's on, he meant the political party, and I asked him what issues are most important to him. He says he just wants to see more consistency. That's what he wants to see.
I would tell them to look into goodparty.org. When I ran as an independent, they were very helpful. Most people aren't Democrat, especially most Black people. They're very conservative. They just don't want to admit it politically.
Yeah.
One step to leaving the Democrat Party is to realize that there are a lot of independents out there. Good Party will not only help you run as an independent, but you can partner with them to volunteer for candidates that run as independents. Thank you.
Goodparty.org.
Okay.
Anybody who was on the fence and unsure of what side they're on, go ahead and check out goodparty.org.
Yes.
Got it. She's always got them references and resources right there. I mean, I'm flying with the pen. So, you know, okay, so we covered how your life has changed since the last election, what you're going for. And you kind of touched a little bit on balancing public service with personal life, just kind of going with the flow. I like that. Is there any secret that you would give anyone, you know, to balance all of that? You know, you said you stay at home. Is there anything else?
Prioritize. Definitely prioritize. And just take care of yourself. One of the main reasons why I choose to stay home, just order in, like I don't go out to eat. If I can help it, I don't grocery shop. I just get stuff sent to the house. It's not just for me protecting my energy, but also it's a part of self-care. I rarely get enough time to myself. So the small time that I do get, I'm very intentional. So prioritization.
So my final question for you is, what message do you want to send to young voters or future women in leadership, or anyone for that matter?
Voters, go out and vote. Leaders, you can still put your name on the ballot. If you have the money, give them the money. If you need to go and get the signatures, get the signatures. But we need more young Christian conservatives in office right now, running for the midterms. Are you late running a campaign for the midterms? Absolutely, but it's not too late. Please don't just vote. Too many people say, that we need to vote down the ballot. Not enough people are saying that more people need to get on the ballot. They don't have term limits for a reason. They don't want to leave. They want to stay there until they die. And that's not helping our country. We need more young Christian conservatives. I'm still doing my research, but I might be a Christian nationalist. I'm still doing my research because all my life it was a bad term.
Payton Jackson, there is no such thing as a Christian nationalist. Let's talk about this on back channels. I promise there's no such thing as that term.
Well, what I mean by it is I wholeheartedly believe in my faith. And my faith says that I'm supposed to preach the gospel, even if they don't want to hear it. And I want like-minded people to run this nation. So if that makes me a Christian nationalist, just not white, then I'm a Christian nationalist. But my whole life, the phrase white Christian nationalist has been this neo-Nazi just image of a person or a people. And it's not. And the fact that I'm amongst people in North Texas who oppose the 10 Commandments being in our schools, I don't know where we are as a society.
So can I ask you a question? When's the first time you heard that? Because I'll tell you the truth of it. I had not heard that term until like a year or so ago, and it started coming on the scene, Christian nationalist. And I'll say it like this: that's how they keep us divided, because they keep adding things and making things. And like you said, if they're denouncing the 10 Commandments, we know that, Abba is part of the Trinity, right? And even if they say the Trinity doesn't exist, we know that it does. We know that it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Jesus is Lord. He's the Son. He's the first. There's no other way to see it. We worship the same God, so we have to obey the 10 Commandments with love, all of that, but I don't let them confuse your mind, girl. If they call themselves a Christian nationalist, I'm with you. Yes, okay, Jesus is Lord, whatever that means. Let's talk about the Bible. Let's get it in front of us. Don't be confusing me with all these terms. I've even heard people call themselves an Orthodox or unorthodox Christian. I thought that was only applicable to Jewish people. I don't even know, girl. They try to confuse our minds. Just we need to read our Bibles and just know our Bibles, and we'll be good.
But that's absolutely right. It was just a label that I've heard. It's been more than a year. I want to say I heard it first in my childhood, and I believe it was about something political. But that's how people describe the Republican Party. And that's why when I'm in these neighborhoods, in my district, talking to constituents, I try my hardest to bring them to the local GOP meetings. Just say, hey, the calendar is online. You can just show up. It's not a Klan meeting, I promise you. Actually, in Dallas County, it's ran by a Black man, and a lot of people don't know that. But even more people don't know that the Republican Party was founded by Black people. But regardless of anyone blazing any trail, we are going so far away from our faith for the idolization of a political party that it's leading, I want to say us, but it's not us, it's leading them to hell. And I don't know what it's going to take for the Black community to completely detach from that party. But the goodparty.org is a good start. If you're not just hell-bent on the conservative party or the Republican Party, go independent. And then, while you figure out your values.
Very good. Very good. Well, we are coming to a close here. We want to thank you again for coming on the channel, Mixed Texan Report and West Virginia Wire. And Payton, we wish you the best of luck in your campaign. We'll be behind you every step of the way, and I'm excited to hopefully see you up there on Capitol Hill.
I think she's going to be on Capitol Hill, you guys. Please go visit her website. That is notaxingwithjackson.com. check out her ex profile, Payton Jackson. I'll put all that information. Thanks for pinning that. My throat is tickling again. Is there any final words you want to let everyone know?
Of
I'm
course.
so sorry about that.
No, I have something in my throat too. Don't just go out and vote. Now, if you're in Texas, you need to go out and vote. But for the midterms, don't just go out and vote. Put yourself on the ballot. Not for my seat, for any other seat, but definitely get involved.
Don't vote for her
no,
seat.
But honestly, guys, get involved. Become a precinct chair. I know for Dallas County, we're missing a lot of. There's a lot of vacancies for precinct chairs for Dallas County GOP. Make sure that your friends are registered to vote. Make sure that your voter registration is up to date. 2,000 illegal immigrants were just caught in Texas. I expect them to be crucified. Justice to be served. But really get out and get active in your neighborhood associations. Find good nonprofits and just lead the way. Become a VDR. Get involved. Work the polls. But get involved. Don't just come out to vote, but actually put yourself on the ballot. And let's start the change now, because they're not going to give term limits to themselves. It's just not going to happen.
Very good. That was a good finish right there. Everybody, thanks for watching. And thanks for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to Mixed Texan Report or West Virginia Wire. Both, why not? And go to Payton Jackson's campaign and help her out get across the finish line. And we thank everybody for watching. And our friend Bully Khan says good luck. Says good luck to you. So good luck to Miss Payton Jackson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nope. Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry. We lost connection. I don't know what happened, but say it one more time. Payton Jackson, thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. And I wanted to ask before we dropped off, so we're going to get you again once you get sworn in and everything calms down and you've made all your appointments. Because I'm just going to call you Congresswoman.
Absolutely. And I need you guys to add my fundraiser I have coming up in February. I'll send you that.
In February? Yes.
I'm coming to the fundraiser. You guys heard it here. We're going to the fundraiser, and that means I love to do fundraisers. I love doing fundraisers. We're gonna raise all kinds of money for you. You guys, thanks for joining. My name is Regina Connell with West Virginia Wire, Mixed and Wired with
Mixed Texan Reports. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We've had our very special guest with us, Payton Jackson. We'll catch you guys on the flip flop. Let me make sure I put the right